welcome back to Interpreting the Stars. Today I will be taking a special look at a film released back in 1986. The film in question is called April Fool's Day. Let's get cracking. When a group of teen college students decide to spend spring break at the secluded island estate of their wealthy classmate Muffy, played by Deborah Foreman, what starts out as an often appealing and turns into something more, something sinister. April Fool's Day is released in 1986 and is produced by Frank Mancuso Jr., who was a producer on the Friday the 13th movies at the time. So Frank Mancuso Jr., so there's a lot of Friday the 13th feel to this movie. In fact, Amy Steele, who was in Friday the 13th Part 2, is actually in this movie as one of the final girls. The movie in question is very much, and it's all like Friday the 13th because it's even made by the same studio, the same producer, and the same actress. So you think, okay, this is just a Friday the 13th knockoff. But I will say, that's actually not the case. There's actually something more, something unique about this film. You see, I really like that it has a, cast of known actors in this movie. Obviously, not everyone is known, but I do think that there is someone else in this movie that is known. Like, for instance, Biff from Back to the Future is in this movie. He plays, this guy that's like he's the jockish kind of guy that's like, or goofball, if you will. And so, I think that that's really cool about him that he's in this movie. Also, Deborah Foreman off Valley Girl. I don't know if this was released before Valley Girl or after, but I do think that, this was a big, impact in her career, because I'm sure if she went to a convention, I don't know this for a fact, but I do think if she went to conventions, obviously Valley Girl would be the #1 thing, but then I would say this movie would probably be a close second, because I did look her up, and it turns out these are the most two things she's known for, so I'm like, okay. I really did like that, there's a snake scene in the movie that I really thought was great. I thought it was unique that, there's a real snake on set, kind of like in the first Friday the 13th movie, where they used a snake and it's actually borrowed a snake for the set, and Kevin Bacon, or not Kevin Bacon, but one of the actors in the movie killed it. Well, in this movie, they use a snake in this movie, but they don't kill it. They kick it for a kill scene, because the movie is a slasher in a sense of whodunit. And so I really like that aspect of the movie, that, that there is there's a cool snakes kill scene in the whole movie. You're kind of like, okay, who's the killer, isn't it? And obviously, it's kind of like I would say in Scream, where it's like in your face the whole time, but you don't think, oh, it's this person, because it's too obvious. I would say, go into this movie knowing what it's called and knowing what it is. You will probably enjoy it more. But if you go into this thinking that it's going to be the next Scream or the next Friday the 13th, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I do think the twist, it has a good twist in the movie. There is, I would say, 2 twists in the movie that are unique, because one, you don't see coming from a mile away. The other one, you kind of see it if you kind of guess the movie. Like, I guessed the movie, and 3D Dave guessed the movie. We kind of guessed the movie ahead of time, but we did not expect it until we did, like, okay, yep, we were right. But there also is another twist ending, which it's a twist ending, and you're just like, okay, that's stupid, but okay. And I really liked those things, though. I really thought, the snake scene with the kill scene, because there are a couple of cool kills in the movie that I thought were great, like the snake kills. And I also thought, the kill with the hanging I thought was pretty good. Most of the kills are pretty bleak, but there was a couple that really stick out to me, like the snake scene with Biff. I thought that was unique. I also thought the hanging was pretty cool. The whale scene I thought was unique. Also, it kind of reminded me of Poltergeist in a way. Maybe it was a homage, or maybe this came out before and Steven Spielberg used it for that scene. I don't know. But I really enjoyed that scene with the heads and the whale. I thought that was pretty cool, and also kind of reminded me of Walking Dead. And I guess Walking Dead probably paid homage to this scene, which is really cool, if you ask me. Also, the things I did not like in this movie, there's so many. The fake-out scene at the end, which obviously spoilers if you have never seen this movie. There are fake-out deaths. There's a lot of fake-out scenes in this movie where people will fall into a boat and they're like, oh, I'm dying, and I gotcha, or I'm stabbed, ha, I gotcha! And you're just like, is it gonna be just like this the whole movie, where they're just faking us out to where when they actually do die, we're not gonna believe if they're dead or not? I mean, that's the whole movie like this, though. And you're just like, this is kind of annoying in a way. Also, you know, there's too much like Friday in the movie, where it's just like so much of it is like Friday the 13th. And you're just like, okay, this is like they're running down at like a long, you know, walkway, and you're just like, okay, this is just like Friday the 13th Part 2, or oh, okay, they're going into this cabin, just like in Friday the 13th. Oh, and also they're dropping everyone like flies, just like in Friday the 13th. And so it kind of and then it just feels so much in DNA of Friday the 13th, to where it almost becomes like this is just a ripoff almost of Friday. It feels almost like they made so many Friday movies, and it just felt like I'm guessing this might have been between when they were trying to end Jason and then they decided to bring him back. My guess is this is probably when they decided, oh, we killed Jason off, and so they're trying to make another Friday the 13th copy, but then at the last minute they chickened out and said, we'll just bring Jason back in a Friday movie. Because that, to me, is what it feels like watching this movie. Also, the ending, there is a whole third act that's just bullshit, where it just is like, oh, you know, like, if you guess it, you'll guess it, and it'll just like, oh, wow. I did not expect to see that happening. And then you do, and it kind of, to me, felt like it lost momentum, because I do appreciate that it is not just another whodunit slasher, but it has a unique twist to it that is not, but at the same time, any sense of likability I had with any of these characters went out the window with that third act twist. That, to me, is what I just felt watching that. And also, a lot of these characters are annoying, especially Biff is an annoying character. I know it's not his real name or the character he plays, but he also is an annoying character. Although, it is a unique movie. Almost like Sleepaway Camp is a unique movie, because it's not just a whodunit, it actually has a great ending. This movie, I guess, tried to match that, where it had to have its own unique ending. And I will say, because of that, I am going to say that is going to go against my bias score. So, from an unbiased perspective, I have to give it a 65%. But from an unbiased perspective, I will give it a 75%, because I do think that this movie is unique enough to where it is going to, like, I could see somebody every April Fool's Day watching this movie. There also is a remake, which I'm not going to check out this year. I might check it out next year, who knows? But I do think that it's unique. It's not unique enough to guarantee a sequel, although I could see this becoming a fun tradition, you know, like Halloween or a Christmas movie. This could just be a great April Fool's Day movie, and it's unique that we have a slasher April Fool's Day movie. I will say that, you know, with my letter grade, I'm going to have to give it a C+, based on my, you know, unbiased and biased score, if you total those numbers up. And so, oh, fuck. But yeah, so if you look at my score, here it is. In the immortal words of Thanos, oh snap! C+ average grade. That is what I'm going to give it. That is what I'm going to think it. Also, thank you so much. Final thoughts on April Fool's Day. And if you can, hit that like and subscribe button and hit that thumbnail notification so that way you know when my next video drops. Also, if you can, he says, you know, hit that subscribe button so you know when the next video is going to drop. And also, peace out. Thanks. Also, thanks Dave for letting me have your channel for a day.